Well, let's see. I can tell you that it's not a secret that Jewish people are talented people, intellectuals, and generally speaking, have decent upbringings, regardless of whether they're secular or religious. Generally speaking, Jewish people hold up education as the priority in every household. Now, of course, the religious household prioritize education to be that's religious based, that's Torah based, whereas the non-religious Jews, look at education that's not necessarily Torah based, quite the opposite. But needless to say, the education is a priority for Jewish people. It always has been, always has been. This in itself puts Jewish people in better positions than some other people in society, because the more educated you are, the more opportunities are available to you. Whereas if you are only familiar with a manual labor type of knowledge that you learn on the farm, knowledge that you learn in a factory, it's very, very, important knowledge. It's knowledge that's necessary for society, but that's going to limit your ability as far as where you're going to be in the world. So if a person comes from a certain background where they were taught farming, or they were taught, to work with steel, or they were taught all types of other things, fine. That puts them in a certain box of opportunities. A person that was taught, by, let's say, parents that were doctors, where medicine was of utmost importance in their household, that person will be in a certain box. That's, again, more inclined to be towards that particular pursuit, whether it be medical, scientific, even legal. But needless to say, that's where they are. Other people that have other forms of education and upbringing will have that. So this is, again, a known thing that Jewish people have prioritize education over all other people out there. Now, the way that you see this highlighted most is not necessarily in Hollywood, but rather in the general success and the involvement of Jewish people in the world at large. Hollywood makes a lot of noise, but more or less it's a small little sector in a very, very big world. There's much more than just simply Hollywood. You have medicine, you have legal, you have taxation, you have import-export, you have so many different avenues of worlds of industries, and you find Jews in all of them. You will find Jews in all departments of science. You will find Jews in all departments of legal. You will find Jews in all departments of medicine. You will find Jews in all departments of import-export. You'll find Jews in all types of entrepreneurship, all types of projects. You will certainly find Jews in all levels of technology. In so many words, you will find Jews everywhere. You'll find Jews in farming. You'll find Jews in everything. So the fact that you're asking about Hollywood, that's because that's where you have spent most of your attention on. You haven't studied much about import-export. You haven't studied much about medicine, perhaps. You haven't studied much about the sciences. You haven't studied much about agriculture. You haven't studied much about probably anything else other than video games and maybe some movies on Netflix. So to you, your world is as big as Hollywood. And therefore, when you see people like Kanye West and Mel Gibson and all types of other famous antisemitics, go out there and say, oh, Hollywood is controlled by Jewish people. Why? Because there's 30 executives here and 15 executives there and 20 executives there. That means that it's controlled by Jewish people? First of all, do you know how big Hollywood is and how many thousands upon thousands of people work in Hollywood and how the overwhelming majority of them are not Jewish? They're African American, they're of Asian descent, they're of Indian descent, they're of all types of walks and colors. And in fact, why don't you say the same thing about the medical world? Why isn't it that, as soon as somebody gets sick and, they need to go to a doctor and they ask, oh, who's my doctor? And they say, oh yeah, it's some Jewish doctor. Usually the average person smiles. Oh, it's a Jewish guy? Okay. How come? How come like the average person is happy to hear they have a Jewish doctor? In fact, they're so happy about having a Jewish doctor, they brag about it to their friends. Oh, my guy? Yeah, no, I have the best doctor. Why? He's some Jewish guy. This guy's a genius. What does it matter that he's Jewish? Is he observant? No. Is he go to synagogue? Probably not. But he's Jewish. Why? Why are you proud of the fact that he's Jewish? If he was in Hollywood, he was no good. But if you're a Jewish doctor, you like it. Oh, I have the best lawyer. He's such a good lawyer that by tomorrow, you're going to be working in Alaska. That's what Al Pacino says in the movie 30, 40 years ago. Why? Because he's a Jewish lawyer. Why is everybody proud to say, I have a Jewish lawyer? Now, if you have a non-Jewish lawyer, he could be just as good. But if you have a Jewish lawyer, you make sure to let everybody know, my lawyer is a Jewish lawyer. How come? Now, if your lawyer is a black lawyer, if your lawyer is a Chinese lawyer, if your lawyer is from Uzbekistan, your lawyer is from India, nobody says, oh yeah, I'm so excited because I have an Indian lawyer. Nobody says that. Oh, I'm so excited because my lawyer is from Tennessee. Nobody says that. Oh, my lawyer is the best lawyer in the world. Where is he from? He's from America. Where is that? I know, United States. Nobody says that. But if you say, my lawyer is Jewish, everybody all of a sudden is like, oh, whoa, you have a Jewish lawyer? Oh, okay. Maybe you want to negotiate. Maybe you want to settle. How come? How come everybody's proud? But nobody says, I don't want a Jewish lawyer because, no, everybody wants a Jewish lawyer, including the antisemites. Including the antisemites, they want a Jewish lawyer. Everybody wants a Jewish lawyer. Everybody wants a Jewish doctor. And the best yet, accounting. If you have, the more money you have, the more you start looking for the Jewish accountant. We've been doing accountant well before you were even a thought in your grandparents' minds. Why? That's the only jobs they gave us. They wouldn't allow us to do import-export. They wouldn't allow us to do commerce as far as food or anything else. They forced us to be in accounting. So we made lemonade with lemons. But today, accounting is a very big business, very big industry. You tell people, listen, our business is doing great. Last year we did 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 million. I'm very, worried about taxes. You have friends? What are the friends going to say? Nah, don't worry about it. I got you. I got you. Why? Call my accountant. He's some Jewish guy. He's going to help you out. Wait. How come you didn't say he's your accountant? He is he's some Indian guy. He's some Hindu. He's some black guy. He's some Asian guy. He's some guy named Steve. He's some guy named Smalls, but he's really big. He's some guy named Tyrone. How come everybody says the Jewish? What does it matter? How come you don't say some Christian guy? Why is everybody so proud of the Jewish accountant? Including the antisemites. The antisemites have Jewish accountants. How come? Because they know we have a brain in our head. We're good at what we do. We try our best, and that's simply it. And we're in all walks and all aspects of industry that we're allowed to be in. We're in medicine, we're in science, we're in technology. The technology you're using right now to watch me right now across the world, who do you think invented it? Who do you think invented it? Do you think the people that were in doing the heroin in Afghanistan made it? Who do you think did it? Who do you think did it? The guys that are drilling oil in Saudi Arabia did it? Who do you think did it? Who do you think did it? Who do you think? The guys that have the KKK masks here in America, they did it? Or the Nazis in Germany here in America? Who do you think did it? Who do you think made this technology that you're using to watch me right now live on TikTok and on internet and on Facebook and all the... Who do you think made it? Jews. Intel. The semiconductor chip that powers all of your phones, that powers all of your computers, that powers your cars, that powers your washing machines, that powers literally every aspect of your life. Who do you think made it? Who do you think made it? Who do you think made these things? Jewish people made it. Does that mean that only Jewish people succeed? No. There's plenty of successful African Americans. There's plenty of successful Africans that are not Americans. There are plenty of successful people from Asia. There's plenty of people successful from India. There's plenty of people successful from all walks of life. Now, if I were to say, you know what? Why is it that the sports have so many black people? You know what they're going to do? They're gonna literally slaughter me, put me on some cross, make me the new Joshke. Why? But everybody knows I love everybody. I love everybody. You're black, you're blue, you're green, you're burgundy. It doesn't make a difference. I have, Baruch Hashem, some people that in my life that are closer to me than a kid. And they come from all walks and sizes and all shapes and colors. I care less. I don't see color. But if I made the comment, oh, how come the sports, the NFL has so many black people? How come the NBA has so many black people? Oh, look at this Jewish guy, he's so racist. It's not a racist statement. It's a reality. You know why there's so many black people in sports? Because they're more talented. Simple. They're more talented. That's it. That's the end. It's not because they have better attitudes. It's not because they have better upbringing. It's not because they're smarter. It's not because they're stupider. It's not because their eyes are like this and their nose is like this and my face is like this and their face is like this. Doesn't make a difference. They're simply more talented and they're more suitable for the field. That's it. Simple. Guess what? There are plenty of black people in the medical world. There are plenty of black people in the fashion world. There are plenty of people in the science world. There's plenty of people in Wall Street. There are plenty of people today that are in all fields. And all of the people that want to use their color and their background as some excuse for society to owe them something are simply too stupid for the times. Do you know how many new multimillionaires are made every single day just in the West, needless to say in the East? And do you know that there are more wealthy black people today than any other time in history? There are black people that have made a fortune, literally hundreds of millions of dollars in real estate, in marketing, in technology, in all types of entrepreneurship. So are we going to start saying, oh, how come there's so many black people that are in blah, blah, blah? Oh, what do you mean? They put themselves there. They made success there. Baruch Hashem to them. Good for them. What's the problem? Why does their success have any correlation to the field? What difference does it make? He wants to put himself there. Put himself there. Oh, how come there's so many Mexicans in the field of agriculture? They want to be there, let them be there. Guess what? If the Mexican wants to be a comedian, or he wants to be a pharmacist, or he wants to be a lawyer, or he wants to be a real estate mogul, there's Mexicans in everything. One of the richest men in the world is a Mexican guy that owns literally everything. He owns telecom, he owns real estate, he owns all types of businesses. And guess what? Nobody says, oh, how come he has so many Mexicans working for him? What do you mean? What does it have to do with it? What is the nationality? What does it have anything to do with it? Have we sunk to that level of stupidity where we assume that somehow your nationality is going to determine what field you choose? There are successful people of all shapes and colors in all fields. The less you see color, the more you'll see people. The more you see color, the more darkness your life will be. People that say, no, I'm only going to do business with him because he is of my culture, he's of my color, he's of my background. And guess what? You are making a dark world for yourself and your kids because you're simply excluding the vast majority of the world. And the Torah itself says, certainly, Jewish people should help each other. But if there's a non-Jew that is doing better service, that's going to save your life, that can save you money, and so on, certainly you can go to a non-Jew. There's no problem. There's no problem. Now, if you can do business, if they're an equivalent, they both do the same service, and the Jew is more expensive, up to 16%, you still go do it with the Jew. Up to 16% more, you still go with the Jew, you pay him the extra 16% more to help your brother. You have an obligation to your brother first. But if the Jew decides, listen, because I'm Jewish, I'm going to charge everybody 50% more and rip my own people in half, no, guess what? Everybody should simply not do business with him. Why? Go do business with somebody who wants to care for the community, not care for themselves and lining their own pockets. And guess what? You're going to find the same type of behavior in the black community, in the Asian community, in the Japanese community, in the Chinese community, the Korean community, the Indian community, the Muslim community of all different, whether they're Sunnis or Shiites. You're going to find it in the different types of communities all over the world. Every community has certain customs, certain things that they try to do, certain things that they're far away from. But you will see that over time, their people spread around into different fields and different interests. But nobody picks on them. Why? Because anti-Semitism is a spiritual decree. It's not even something that is explainable with anything rational. Anti-Semitism is something that HaKadosh Baruch Hu uses as his stick to remind his own people to do tshuva and separate themselves from assimilation and intermarriage. This does not mean hate the non-Jews or take advantage of them and steal from them, which are all forbidden. But rather, it simply means we have to always separate ourselves in order to make sure we don't marry non-Jews. We make sure that we don't assimilate to the point where we become, we are influenced by the cultures of others. We obviously keep honest to our Torah. But if you're going to be able to put food on your table in a legitimate way, in a way that's in accordance to the Torah, there's no problem. Now, is a Hollywood the right way to do business? Is Hollywood the something that is a good way to do things? Obviously, I don't need to explain it. Everybody knows it's not good. Even the people in Hollywood hate Hollywood. Everybody knows Hollywood is a disease. It's not a new disease. It's a disease that happened in every generation, just in different forms and sizes. At the times of the Romans, they had the Colosseum. At the times of the Greeks, they had the different Colosseum. They had, every generation had their own craziness. So Hollywood is not good. The fact that there are plenty of Jews in Hollywood is not something that the Jewish people are proud of. There's nothing good about the fact that there's plenty of people in Hollywood that happen to be Jewish. The fact that they're there, let them be there. This is not our pride. It's like saying, oh, there's a lot of Zionists, Jews. That's not something that we're Jewish people are actually proud of. Zionists are anti-Jewish. Zionists hate Judaism more than the non-Jews. If you only knew what's happening in Israel right now with the Zionists versus the real Jews, the Jews that actually are observant to the Torah. Literally, if the comments that are made by them today, in the last 5 days, by newscasters, if any of those comments were made by any newscaster that's not Jewish in the world today, literally they would make a bigger example of him than they made out of Kanye West. Kanye West made some nasty comments against Jewish people. They pretty much, the whole world wrote him off. I doubt the guy is gone forever, but the point is that he lost a lot of business because of all of his stupid comments. Guess what? What he said, what Kanye West said, is not even a kindergarten next to what our own Jewish brothers that are mentally and spiritually deformed because they're into Zionism and lefty liberalism are saying about us. They're taking caricatures from the times of the Holocaust and putting them on the streets, putting them on the news, saying that the religious Jews are bloodsuckers and all types of terminology that the Nazis use. And it's not Nazis saying it. It's Jewish people are saying it. They're obviously against the Torah, but they're Jewish nonetheless. And they're saying this on television. They're saying this in the streets. They're protesting with this. And guess what? Nothing we can do. Are we proud of these Jews? No. Can we help them? Some of them. Some of them we can help and we try to help them. But unfortunately, you can't help somebody that doesn't want to help themselves. So you can't just simply stereotype an entire people just because your world is so small. If you learn more about different fields and industries, you will see that there are people from all shapes and sizes in every field. But if you're looking for any one particular one, you will find it in every field. If you're a black person, you will find black people in every field. If you are a, white American, which is hard to believe that even exists because most people come from everywhere else, let's say, you'll find those types of people everywhere. Irish descent, German descent. If you are a Italian, you'll find Italians everywhere. You'll find your own people everywhere. You'll find whatever you're looking for everywhere. Does that mean that it's better or it's worse? No, it's just simply people that chose that field. That's it. That doesn't. It's just simply people have to grow up, educate themselves. It's a stupidity is not excusable. Stupidity is a choice.